Colonel Brady, you'll be joining us for supper tonight in the Sunday school room, and afterwards, naturally, we expect you with the prayer meeting.
Yes, fine, excellent.
They sent over some mail from the mansion house. These letters will lighten your heart, Commander.
I don't know if it was legal what I did with that colonel business.
Don't worry, won't get hit by a thunderbolt.
I don't know. Sometimes I just don't know.
Rachel?
Yes, no.
I don't think I've got a correct copy of the indictment.
Let me see it. Oh, you have the old one?
Let me have a new one.
Mr. Drummond, you got to call the whole thing off. It's not too late. Bert knows he did wrong and he's sorry. Now why can't he just stand up and say to everybody, I admit it, I broke the law, I did wrong and I won't do it again. And then they could stop all this fuss and everything could go back to the way that it was.
Who are you?
I'm a friend of Bert's.
What about a boy getting cold feet?
Well, I never thought it would be like this. Like Marvin and Bailey coming to town.
Well, you call it off. You want to quit?
Yes.
People look at me now as if I was a murderer. Worse than a murderer. That fellow from Minnesota who killed his wife. Remember Rachel? Half the town turned out to watch him put him on the train. They just stared at him as if he was a curiosity. Not like they hated him. Not like he'd done anything really wrong, just different.
Well, there's nothing very original about murdering your wife.
People look at me now as if I had horns coming out of my head.
Look, you murder your wife, it isn't nearly as bad as murdering an old wives' tale. If you kill one of their fairy tale notions, they're going to call down the wrath of God, Brady, and the state legislature.
You make a joke out of everything. You seem to think that everything is so funny.
Lady, when you lose your power to laugh, you lose your power to think straight.
Mr. Drummond, I can't laugh. I'm scared.
Well, good. You'd be a damn fool if you weren't.
Mr. Drummond, you're supposed to be helping Bert, and every time you swear, you make it worse for him.
Well, I'm sorry if I offend you, but I don't swear just for the hell of it. I figure language is a poor enough means of communication as it is, and we ought to use all the words we've got. Besides, there's damn few words everybody understands.
Mr. Drummond, you don't care anything about Bert. You just want a chance to make speeches against the Bible.
I care a great deal about Bert. I care a great deal about what Bert thinks.
Well, I care what the people in this town think of him.
Can you buy back his respectability by making him a coward? Look, I understand what Bert's going through. It's the loneliest feeling in the world to find yourself standing up when everybody else is sitting down. Everybody looking at you saying, what's the matter with him? I know. I know what it feels like. Walking down an empty street, listening to the sound of your own footsteps. Shutters closed, blinds drawn, doors locked against you. Not sure whether you're walking towards something or just walking away. Look, Kates, I'll change your plea and we'll call off this whole business. One condition. If you honestly feel that you've committed a crime against the citizens of the state and the minds of their children, if you honestly believe that you're wrong and the law's right, the hell with it. I'll pack up my grip and go back to Chicago, where it's a cool 100 in the shade.
Bert knows he did wrong, don't you, Bert?
Don't prompt the witness.
Well, what do you think, Mr. Drummond?
I'm here. Tells you what I think. What's the verdict there, Bert? Want to find yourself guilty before the jury does?
No, sir. I'm not going to quit.
Bert,
Oh, it wouldn't do any good now anyhow. If you stick by me, Rach, well, we can fight this out.
I don't know what to do. I just don't know what to do.
Well, what's the matter, Rach?
I don't want to do it. But Mr. Brady says that
What does Mr. Brady say?
they want me to testify against Bert.
You can't!
Bert, I don't mean to rush you, but we got to close up the shop.
Rach, some of those things I said to you are things you just say to your own heart. If you get up on the witness stand and say those things out loud, don't you understand the words I said to you? softly in the dark, just trying to figure out what the stars are for, or what might be on the backside of the moon.
But
They were questions, Ray. I was just asking questions. If you repeat those things, well, Brady will make them sound like answers, and they'll crucify me.
What's your name, Rachel? What?
Rachel Brown. Can they make me testify?
Well, I'm afraid so. It'd be nice if nobody ever had to make anybody do anything, but look, don't let Brady scare you. He just seems to be bigger than the law.
It's not Mr. Brady. It's my father,
Who's your father?
the Reverend Jeremiah Brown. I used to feel this way when I was a little girl. I used to wake up at night, terrified of the dark. I used to think sometimes that the whole house was upside down and my bed was on the ceiling, and if I didn't hold on to the mattress, I might fall outward toward the stars. I used to want to run to my father and have him tell me that I was safe and that everything was all right. I was always more afraid of him than I was of falling. It's the same way now.
Is your mother dead?
I never knew my mother. Is it true? Is Bert wicked?
Hey, Bert Cates is a good man, maybe even a great one. It takes strength for a woman to love such a man, especially when he's a pariah in the community.
I'm only confusing him, and he's confused enough as it is.
The man who has everything figured out is probably a fool. Now, college examinations notwithstanding, it takes a very smart fella to say, I don't know the answer.